Well, what's up, guys? This is Jay from COI. So, this holiday break, I've spent some time with my family, and my uncle is a huge Fox News fan. Loves, loves, loves the Fox News. So, when I was hanging out in the TV room, he had Fox News on. I wasn't really paying attention because I was playing on my Nintendo Switch, and I don't listen to the stuff. All they do is yell and scream, and they set fake narratives. But it was interesting watching the way he ate it up in a way that their callers ate it up, and how the narratives that they were setting up were just completely hyperbolic and ludicrous in a lot of ways. So they were talking, though, about poverty in America. The whole bit was about how Americans don't have as much money this year for Christmas as they did last year. And basically, they blamed the Democrats. They said the problem was that there was too much government spending, and so they were taxing average Americans too much money. So that's why you don't have money. Um, they also basically said that Americans aren't nearly as impoverished as they think they are. That's another huge thing. But namely, it was the Democrats. They're the problem. Which I thought was kind of stupid, considering the Democrats have hardly any power and absolutely no real legislative power right now. And if you want to talk about the taxes, we've been paying these same taxes for a while. And in fact, under Trump's economy, we're paying less taxes. Um, let me reward that, because we're not paying less taxes. We're paying less taxes to welfare and social safety net programs. We're not paying less taxes. We're just paying less taxes to those things. We're paying more money into things like the military budget. Anyway, I looked over, my uncle was sleeping. My aunt comes in, and she kind of made a gesture. She was like, "Oh, I know you're not into this. Let me change the channel." She changed it to CNN, which I don't watch that either. But again, I didn't care. But I did listen enough to hear how they framed a narrative. And for them, it was Donald Trump. Donald Trump's the problem. Our economy is slowing down, and people don't have enough for Christmas because Donald Trump is not passing laws, and because people are too caught up dealing with his tax cuts, and so much of it is just going to the wealthy, and it's not helping the poor. Uh, which the thing is, I hate to say this, but his tax cuts aren't exactly affecting us negatively yet. It's coming very soon. And sure, there's a little bit of it because our taxes did go up a little bit, but not crazy. Not enough to where it's really going to affect your Christmas. And it's quite insane that they would blame Donald Trump on the economy not being very strong, because honestly, the economy is strong. Namely, our job numbers and things like that are pretty good. In fact, arguably all-time highs in a lot of ways. And you might be saying, yeah, but those are imperfect numbers. And I would say, yes, they are. But those are the same scale that we use to judge Obama and his economy. So as far as that standard, it's not that bad. But it's still the same framing is our problems are all political. If you're a Democrat, the reason your life sucks and you have no money is because of Trump. If you're a Republican, the reason your life sucks and you have no money is because of the Democrats. And it was really sad because I wouldn't consider myself to be intellectual or privy to something that these people don't know. I'm just some jerk off in a home studio. And I can tell you how to fix our poverty in America. So I know they know. They're not going to talk about it. They don't want to talk about some real simple things that just happened 2 weeks ago. In fact, this was never brought up on either one of them. Here it is. To effectively end homelessness in America, which, just briefly, I'll state this, would completely change our economy because more homeless people would get jobs. The more people that have jobs in our economy, the stronger it is. More money's flowing, more money's being spent, which means more companies are hiring, more things are made, yada, yada, yada. Well, to effectively end homelessness, completely end homelessness, it would cost us $20 billion, right? Okay. To pay for everyone's college education, it would cost around $5 billion. Now, to completely get rid of all the debt and to pay for everyone's college, it cost about 1.5 trillion. School debt, that is, not like credit card debt. School debt. That's a big number. Let's cut out the school debt for right now and just stick with the paying college tuition and ending homelessness. We're at about $25 billion. We passed a military spending bill 2 weeks ago that was $22 billion. That's not in total. That's on top of the $780 billion that was already there before. This is an expansion. That right there, that 22 billion would have effectively ended poverty in America. Not completely, and there'd be a lot of work to do, but it would have been a major step forward. But none of the bleeding heart liberals or the penny counting conservatives, neither side talked about this at all. This would be the exact way to fix it. And honestly, why don't we just look at the wars and how popular the wars are in America? How many people are really behind us spending more money on our military? Not very many. In fact, did you realize that the Afghanistan war has a lower popularity rate than what Vietnam did? Vietnam was one of our most unpopular wars. And as soon as it got to a point where people stopped supporting it and started hating it, we left. Afghanistan, we have no plans on leaving, and we just found out we were lied to about why we're sticking around and what we're actually doing there. And we owe $2.1 trillion to Afghanistan. But no one brings that up. Neither one of them bring that up. It's just funny how all these media companies get paid to push bullshit around, and none of it is the answer. And all of it is just yelling back and forth, creating a false narrative for people to believe. I will say on a side note that I thought was kind of interesting about all this. My uncle ended up turning it to ESPN. And there again, these were shows where people were just yelling at each other. It's so impassioned about sports. Stephen A. Smith and Skip Bayless and all these people. I mean, and again, it may not have been ESPN. So if any of you sports fans are like, no, they're not on ESPN. I know some of them aren't. I don't know if either one of them are actually. But these guys are just yelling about how certain teams are messing up. And the thing is, I know quite a bit about sports too. A big fan of certain, especially the NFL. And a lot of what they were yelling at and being so impassioned about, and we need to care about this team and what this team's doing, and they were wrong. I know they were wrong because this was a rerun, and what they predicted would happen on Sunday didn't happen. In fact, pretty much the exact opposite happened. And without looking through 2020 vision, I knew that. The interesting note about all of that is my uncle has high blood pressure, has a very, very quick wick, which if you don't know what that means, it means he's just quickly to get angry. And I get it, because everything he consumes is people yelling 24/7. And the sad thing is they're yelling about nothing. They're not yelling about solutions. They're not yelling because they're so angry about a system that's wrong and has wronged them. No, they're just yelling to get you to pay attention to the wrong thing. Anyway, that's it from me, guys. You have a Merry Christmas.